Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Monday, November 20th. It is 6:23 right now. Market's gonna open in about 7 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and set up this room real quick and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. It's got a couple of things here to update and we should be good to go. All right, looks good here. Just a few more things. Looks like we are good to go. Let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. And we'll be on our way. All right. All right, so as people continue to join in, I'm going to go ahead and start marking up liquidity here. So starting up over here on the daily time frame. Go down to the 8-hour. Down to the 4-hour. Down to the 2-hour. Down to the 1-hour. Down to the 30-minute. Down to the 15. I change the color here to red. Down to the 10, and I think we are good to go. All right, looks good. All right, guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Monday, November 20th. It is 6:27 right now. Market's going to open in about 3 minutes. Hopefully everyone had a great weekend. Market's now finally open, so we're going to see what we can lock in for this Thanksgiving week. Market's going to be, it's going to be hard to tell. It's going to be hard to tell whether it's going to be volatile, dead. I mean, we don't really know, but we'll see what happens in these next couple of days. You should expect volatility to die down quite a bit as we get closer to Thanksgiving, say Wednesday or even Tuesday. But for the most part, we'll play by ear and see where this might take us. So I'm gonna go over here on. Let's see where I'm at. Go here real quick on like the higher time frame, see if there's any. Yeah, the volatility right now is super low, so I don't know if this is really gonna pick up very much, but we'll see. Yeah, obviously the market is kind of just ranging here at the moment. So we'll I guess we'll see, because these zones are just they're way too big. So see how this ends up working out. Anyways, so that'll be the 1 hour support resistance. And market is going to open up in about 40 seconds. So let's see what happens here. 4 hour resistance level. It's going to be 1 hour support. All right, we'll come back to that in a little bit. I don't think there's any news for today. There's news at 7, low impact. I'll mark that up in a little bit. Market is about to open right about now. And market is now open, guys. All right, so we're getting a lot of back and forth movement over here. Over here real quick. See something here. Oh, it's pretty far out. All right, guys, so we'll see where this ends up going. Let me see, we have news over here at 7 o'clock. I'll put that over here on Twitter. News right here at 7 o'clock, and I think that's about it for today. Let me check if there's anything else here that I am missing. That's about it. All right, let's take a look at the fundamentals real quick. So the fundamentals right now are currently, they're pretty much flat. You can see over here, breaking news, the stocks are flat to start the week, which was kind of expected because we are entering Thanksgiving week. So stocks are pretty much flat to start the week, says here. Looking over here at retail sentiment, I haven't taken a look at this yet. Retail sentiment is currently 64% short. So this indicates that 64% of retail traders are currently selling right now. So we typically want to do the opposite and probably buy. But I mean, we'll have to see what happens when the market kind of bounces around. You can see over here where price is kind of bouncing from. It's bouncing between the Asia high right here and the Asia low down here. So just a back and forth movement right there. I wouldn't be surprised if price comes right back down. I'm going to go ahead and mark up opening price right here real quick. And I'm going to color that blue. Take this opening price right there. What else am I going to do here? Mark up opening price right here as well. Let's go over here to the clean chart. So you can see price is kind of bouncing in between the support resistance levels that I marked up earlier. So you can see the support down here on the 1 hour, price bounced directly off it. And then price kind of came up a little bit, and it might come off the 4 hour resistance, and then, just come right back down. It's hard to tell exactly where it'll go, but I mean, we'll see what happens here. Obviously, there's no entries to take right now. Mark that up right there. So yeah, price might bounce off the 4 hour resistance and come right back down. But there's just nothing for us to take here at the moment. So let's see what's here so far. Morning, Maddie. Morning, William. Morning, Stern. Morning, Maria. Morning, Barack. Morning, Daniel. Morning, Layla. Morning, Andreas. Morning, Alan. Morning, everybody. Yeah, exactly. Maddie said I'm expecting an iffy market. Yeah, it was pretty much expected for the most part. I wasn't expecting anything less. So we'll see what happens here as price continues to bounce around. So let's see. Price is currently at the 4-hour resistance right now, and it's currently kind of just, it's kind of all over the place at the moment. Not really much for us to take here. So it looks like price might be bullish here, but we'll see what happens in, next couple minutes or so if it stays down or if it stays up. It's kind of hard to tell here. Let's see, we got Valentine over here. Looks like he took some trades here as price continued to climb back up and down. Total profit of 2,066 for the day. Nice work, Valentine. So solid profits right there. Yeah, I guess we're kind of just waiting here for this to play through. So it looks like liquidity up here just got hit. So if anybody caught the liquidity push right there, looks like it went right through. So 2 levels of liquidity right there just got hit. First one. Second one. Third one is still currently active right now. I'm just sitting tight, guys. I'm not going to take anything right now. I'm going to wait for the market here to stabilize a bit. Once it stabilizes, then obviously I'll start looking for some entries. But right now, there's not really much here to play around with because it's currently at the 4-hour resistance. You want to be careful around this area. Price might just bounce off and then make its way all the way back down to opening price, right? That's going to be target price point if price does come back down. Nice. Valentine caught that liquidity. So nice work catching that right there. Valentine. There's just nothing for us to take right now, guys. I would probably just wait a little bit longer for the market here to stabilize it a little bit. The ATR is pretty low. So, we just had this big push of volatility here on open. Let's see. So market push right here from opening price straight up. Yeah. Price pretty much went straight up from there. But there's not really much here to, kind of work with at the moment as price continues to go back and forth. So until we have a confirmation of like direction of trend, we're not really going to be able to take anything here. Like for example, so here's the breakout V2. I don't know if anybody caught the breakout V2. There was a buy signal right here, 2 buy signals that a green candle that came up right here. It looks like they already hit TP or almost, but there's no official entries right now. So there goes a breakout V2. It's actually still running in profit right now. We had the buy signal right here, 2 green candles. So it's currently running. It's overextended pretty heavy. So I'd probably be careful about taking this. I probably wouldn't even take it myself. Another reason is because it's at the 4-hour resistance. The liquidity here is still pushing up. So there's a couple confluences indicating that price may likely push up higher. There's another confluence here that price is in 4-hour resistance. So there's just a lot of conflicting analysis here regarding entry. If you're looking to take the breakout V2 that is currently running in profit, I bet it's on the wrong chart. Put it over here. So 2 green candles right there. And there goes the breakout V2 that is currently running in profit. No entries here yet for the high-low scalp V2. Put that right there. So if anything, this might be the entry point for the high-low scalp V2 if it does come up. The ATR again is kind of low, guys. So if you guys are planning on taking the entry here, I probably would go for a partial, if not for never mind. So there's no high there. This candle here just broke past it. So there's no longer any high-low scalp V2 setting up right there. Yeah, as you guys can see, price is having trouble getting past this 4-hour resistance. So there goes a breakout V2. If anybody took a breakout V2 full TP right there, I'll add that to our spreadsheet. So this entry came up right here at 635. $635. It was for a buy when 250 profit. Maybe movement on open to the upside. All right, so there goes the breakout V2. The momentum counter scalp might be coming up next. So if you get a sell signal here and 2 green candles, that's going to be the momentum counter scalp. ATR down below is currently at 14 right now, so there's still it's not high enough to take any momentum pullback scalps just yet. Looking over here, this is going to be the level for the high-low scalp V2 if it does come up. And you can see over here, price had trouble, and now it's coming back down from the 4-hour resistance. So it didn't really have the opportunity to break and close past this area over here. It's now coming right back down. So here it goes. Price makes its way right back down from where it was earlier. We'll see if it comes down further. If not, then it's probably going to continue climbing. Yeah, Maddie said it might retrace down to lure some more sellers into the market. Yeah, I can see that too. Because the sentiment hasn't dropped too much. Sentiment's dropped a bit, but not really. It's still 65% short, so it's still pretty heavy bullish. The fundamentals here they're still pretty neutral. They haven't moved really that much. So retail sentiment is still pretty bullish right now. Looking over here at the technicals. Short term is bullish. You can see prices above the pivots, trend meters green, pivots are angling up. Same with the long-term time frame. So overall bias for today is still very bullish, as you guys can see. Yeah, I mean, it's still pretty bullish for the most part. The ATR is still low, so I'm hoping the ATR picks up. I mean, if it doesn't, there's not going to be any momentum pullback scalps. I mean, we can still look for some high-low scalp V2s, but the momentum pullback scalps are not going to be available, obviously. You can see price here just keeps kind of bouncing around the 4-hour resistance. We'll see if it actually closes above it. So if price does close above it, you might want to look for the fake out. So it might fake out and come right back down. Yeah, like what Maddie said, it just might just fake out up here, fake out down below, and then swing right back up. Looks like price has moved a lot, but it hasn't really moved that much. It's moved about, well, within this range right here, it's about like a 25-point move. It's not really bouncing around too crazily. It's bouncing around, it's not like super crazy. All right, so again, you just want to focus on this area here, guys, 4-hour resistance. We'll see if price breaks above it, comes back below. I think it's going to just range here for a bit, maybe consolidate. Eventually it's going to break out. So it's probably going to consolidate here a bit. And then eventually it's going to break out to the upside, or it's going to break down below. Hard to tell exactly which direction, but that's what you could be looking for here. But you can see right here, if I drew 2 lines here, you can see obviously price is pretty much ranging. Or not even ranging, it's now just going sideways, so it's consolidating within this little area right here. Not a good area to trade. So again, guys, just sit tight. I wouldn't recommend, there's really no need to force anything right now. Obviously, you guys got to keep in mind that today's Monday. Mondays and Fridays are some of the riskier days to trade. Also, it's Thanksgiving week. If you guys have ever traded a holiday week like Thanksgiving and Christmas. So Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's are usually like some of the slowest weeks in the market. We might not even see much movement after today. Today might be the only day with some movement, and then tomorrow might be super flat. The next day might be super flat, and then obviously Thanksgiving market is closed. Yeah, that's just how the market is during the holidays. So I wouldn't expect too much, just kind of play by ear. And if you guys see anything good, then obviously take it. But there's no need to force anything because the last thing you want to do is get caught on the wrong side of the market. Here you can see price has failed to break and close past the 4-hour resistance. It's now coming back down. I'll see if there's any other zones here for us to mark up. But at the moment, I'm just not going to mark up the 1-hour zone here because it pretty much lines up with the 4-hour resistance. So there's no need for us to mark up another resistance up here when there's already one there. And then also for the lower end over here, you can see the lower low is currently at the 1-hour support. There's no need for me to redraw the support down below because it's still in this area. So there's just nothing for me to do here in this area right here as we continue to wait for any opportunities to really come up. But if price does break and close past this higher high, I'm probably going to expect price to continue climbing up higher. Again, like I mentioned before, guys, if you guys want to take the regular high-low scalp entries, like the original, I would look for the higher highs and lower lows. You can see over here, we have a higher high. Whenever price breaks these higher highs or lower lows, price tends to push up at least 100 pips to push through for the regular high-low scalp. So for example, right here, see how there's a higher high right there? Price broke and closed right here. And you could have taken that for a quick 100 pips for a regular high-low scalp. Right, same with this one right here. There's a higher high right there. See how these candles right here broke past it? Again, another higher 100 pips right there. So again, if I see price breaking past this higher high right here, right? I'm expecting it to push at least 100 pips. So something to look out for there because that's going to be one that I will take. So if that does happen, it will be setting up for a high-low scalp V2. But if it does close above this higher high, I'll probably take it for 100 pips as a regular high-low scalp entry. So I think for the high-low scalp entries, we can probably use the same chart, right? Because we're already applying the high-low, the high-low scalp V2. We can also apply the regular high-low scalp because it's the same thing. It's just we're looking for the break and close before. If you guys want to wait for that pullback, then you can get in for the high-low scalp V2. If you want to just get in for the regular high-low scalp, you can get in for that right there as well. So we'll keep looking for that there. Maddie mentioned that there might be one setting up over here on the 5-minute. Let me see. Yeah, it's got to close below. So close above, close below, and swing right back up. Actually, it's already running, right, Maddie? I might have the strategy kind of confused again. Is it running right now? Let's see. So I'm looking over here at the I already pushed through. So pretty much all the liquidity down here already got hit, these 3 levels. So if you guys saw my markups here from earlier this morning, this one here got hit, this one got hit, this one got hit, all full TPs. There's a setup here for a high-low scalp V2. So basically this high-low right here got broke. We're looking for the fake out for price to break and close below it and then swing back up. I'm kind of thinking, Maddie, whether we should make the last requirement, where it swings back up for the, like, wait for the candle to actually close, or if we should just stick to how it is. Because the thing is, it works fine either way, but yeah, I mean, I would have to test it a little more. Because I'm curious, because we were waiting for the close above, then we're looking for the close below, and then we're looking for price to come back up. I was kind of testing this over the weekend. I wasn't sure if like that would be better to wait for it to actually close, because if that's the case, then we kind of get in a little late, but it's a little more confirmation. I think it's good as is, but I don't know what you think about it. If there's anything that you think that could be changed. Yeah, I mean, at the moment, I don't think it's like super necessary, but I guess, if someone wanted to be super careful, they could wait for it to actually close. Yeah, we'd have to test it. I think it works fine as is. It's just an idea if it's something that people would want to use. But I think for the most part, it's fine as is. I kind of like having the pending order right there because it's easier to just let it play through. All right, so we have ATR currently 13 right now, so there's not going to be any momentum pullback scalps over here. If price pulls back into this range down here, then I will start marking up new levels within this area. I'm not going to mark up any levels up here. Obviously, there's no need. We already have a resistance right there, a higher level and a higher level support. So there's no need for us to really draw that up. The 5-minute entry is currently running right now, guys. So if you guys are looking to take it, I'm just going to mark it up for you guys here. I'm not going to take it myself, but it is currently running in profit right now. Yeah, it's just a little too risky. I'm not going to take it. I'll follow it, but I'm not going to take it myself. I mean, if you guys do want to take it, I'll mark up the levels here in case you guys want to just pull out for partials. So that's the 200 mark right there. Looks like the 10 already got hit. Yeah. 10 right there got hit already. All right, so we got the levels right there. I mean, there's nothing for us to take here at the moment, guys. Price is just ranging within this area here. That's why I wasn't really, the main reason I didn't want to take this entry here is because price is inside the 4-hour resistance. That's like the main reason. If it wasn't within this 4-hour resistance, I would have been okay to take it for maybe a partial, because you can see 100 pips is almost always going to get hit. But I didn't want to take it there because of the 4-hour resistance. Nice. Daniel caught it there for 10 points. So a nice quick little profit there, in and out. So, if you guys have seen any of my older strategies or pretty much any of the scalp strategies, we always use a 10-point TP. And you can see it's pretty obvious here why we do that, right? Because it almost always hits. It's like a safe way out. You're basically pulling the low-hanging fruit, right? The low-hanging fruit's just like hanging in front of you, and you just get $1,000 here, $1,000 here. It's like easy. 15 just got pushed through. And that's why the majority of our strategies are set at that, because I've done my research and I've been testing it for like years and years and years that, 10 points is the go-to if you're looking for a quick in and out. So other than that, there's still no entries for us here to take, no official entries. There's a 5-minute entry here that's currently running for the high-low scalp V2. Again, it's not an official entry, but we do use it as a confluence. Some people like to take it as a partial move. So if you guys wanted to take it, it's running right there. But there's no official entries that are currently running right now. If anything, this is going to be the first level up here, but we don't have that yet. So we'll see. Daniel said, I think it'll hit full TP if it hits liquidity for a second touch. Yeah, so liquidity over here, if it comes back and retouches the blue level here, if it pushes up higher, it's probably going to blast even higher, right? Right through it, and then try to maybe even reach the higher high point right there. So if you guys want to watch it, feel free. It's still in the 4-hour resistance right here. It's kind of a risky area to be trading in, but if it does push it through this area and breaks through it, I probably expect it to climb up even a bit more. So that is about it for right now. 5 minutes currently pushing up. We have news over here coming up at 7 o'clock too. So if you guys are in the position, you might want to be careful, because we do have news coming up soon about 7 o'clock. Let's see, question from Alan. Alan's asking, when you have time, how do we show ATR on charts? You just add the indicator on your chart, Alan. So if you go to indicators, it's the built-in indicator. So you type in ATR, it's the average true range. It's like built in into TradingView. So it's not anything special. It's just ATR, average true range. And that's how you would add it. It's gonna give you the average true range of whatever time frame you're on. So if you're on the 1 minute, it'll show you ATR down here below. We typically look for at least 15 ATR. Right now it's currently at 13. This just shows you what the average true range is for price to move within the previous 14 candles. So it's currently set to 14, which is the default settings. That's how much volatility is in the market. Typically, if it's below 15, it's pretty slow. You can see right here, it's currently at 14. So price is pretty much consolidating back and forth. It's just a little rule of thumb to like avoid the market. If it's above 15, it's usually moving, but when it's below 15, it's usually going sideways. Yeah, no problem, Alan. Yeah, the ATR is too low right now, guys. I don't even want to bother looking for anything at the moment. I mean, I'll mark up an entry right here because this might be a setup for a high-low scalp V2. But again, because the ATR is so low, there's not really much movement here, right? As I've mentioned before in the past, the real key here is understanding when not to trade. You're going to get a bunch of entries that come up in front of you. You're going to get like, 5 or 10 entries come up every morning, or even more. If you're trading all New York session, you're probably going to get at least 20 opportunities that come up. The real skill here is to identify which one is quality and which one isn't, right? So I think that's something that Allison over here mentioned over the weekend. So if you guys were in the chat over the weekend, Allison over here, she had a message that she posted up. She said, like, this is when she wasn't consistent because she was kind of taking every single trade. And when she started to just take the quality entries like we do here on the live sessions, look at her consistency, right? She went straight up and passed her FTMO right away. So it's a big difference, guys. And if you want to read this, just go into the Discord. You guys can see here, it literally tells you if you're like, she literally admitted it that like, whenever she like doesn't focus and her trade psychology is messed up and she revenge trades, this is what happens. This is how a majority of your charts probably look like, because you guys are just taking a bunch of random entries all the time. If you take like 1 or 2 solid entries a day, this is what it should look like. You're just winning every single day, like how I do. So, just a reminder, guys, you have to understand it's crazy because you'll see a lot of people who will go from group to group. They think there's like a holy grail out there. They'll go, oh, I'm learning from this person. I'm learning from this mentor. I'm learning from this mentor. What happens to that person? They suck at everything, right? They suck at support resistance. They suck at supply and demand. They suck at everything. And it's like, why do you even trade if that's going to be you? You got to find one trading style and just stick to that. And understand that trade, there's no one strategy. Like there's a bunch of strategies out there, but the thing is you can't be learning like a million things out there and expect to be good at one thing. You're just going to suck at everything. So, I always try to not vent as much on these live streams, but every time I talk to people and they're like, oh, I don't understand what I'm not doing right. It's because you're doing like a million things at once. You should just stick to one thing and stop trying to learn everything. It's like that one saying, like, you're either the jack of all trades and you end up being the master of none, or you're just a master at one thing. So, it's crazy. Well, that's the thing with trading. Like if you get into trading, if you're still new to trading, guys, it's fine because, I know it's exciting and you want to learn everything, but it does more harm than good for the most part. So, all right, guys, we have a high-low scalp V2 that's currently setting up right here. You can see price breaking past this lower high. If it closes above it, you're going to look for the fake out. The price did close above here. So price is now above it right now. We'll see if price pulls back down for the fake out retracement. And then you'll look for the continuation back to the upside. It's really close to news though. We have news over here at 7 o'clock. It's low impact news, but I still wouldn't really risk it personally. If this candle here closes above this higher high, this is going to be a regular high-low scalp entry. So if you guys are looking to take this, I'd probably only go for 100 pips. You got to actually wait for it to close above it though. So I'll be watching it for right here, see if I can get into this with you guys. Clean this up a little bit. Chart's kind of messy. And then we have news in a minute. So You want to be careful with this entry here, guys. You got to get in and out super quick if you do decide to take it. So it doesn't look like it's going to close. Yeah, we got news coming for 1 minute. Let me check the news real quick. It's just CB leading index month over month, so it's low impact. I think that's about it for today. We're probably not going to see too much news this week because it's Thanksgiving, of course. Let's see. So again, guys, if this candle closes above, this is going to be a high-low scalp entry. You guys want to take it for 100 pips. It's passing a higher high, so I think this will likely kind of push up at least 100 pips. The thing that you want to be careful for here, though, is the news that we were just discussing. So if you guys don't feel comfortable trading the low impact news, then don't take it. But if you guys are okay with it, then you can take it for a quick, 100 pips or so. So see here if it pushes through. Let's see what William said here. So William said, what Sean is saying is true. First, put your cell phone in another room, focus on the chart. Second, stick to with your plan, trade that plan and nothing else. Hopefully you have a profitable plan you've proved on demo or something. Yeah, that's usually the key thing there, William. It's really just finding a trading plan and sticking to it. So we got the regular high-low scalp that's currently running right here. Let's check the, oh, so this one already broke through. So if you guys saw the 5 minute from earlier, that was already running. It like literally just blasted right through. So if you take the high-low scalp earlier on the 5 minute over here, it already went straight through and hit full TP. Other than that, let's check the news real quick. News was negative. So we'll see this here. Let me check retail sentiment. Retail sentiment is 65%. So it hasn't changed very much. Retail sentiment hasn't changed. News calendar. See if there's anything else for the news today. I don't think there's really too much here. Tomorrow we have existing home sales. We have the Chicago Fed National Activity Index, Red Book. We've got durable goods, jobless claims, continuing jobless claims, initial jobless claims, consumer sentiment. So it looks like the entry is still currently running right now for the high-low scalp. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to put a buy stop, guys. I didn't enter it right away, but if I'm going to put a buy stop there, so if it swings back up, it's just going to fill my order. So let me see if I can put that up real quick. So right here, it's kind of pulling down. I didn't want to take it because it was right at news, like what Maddie was saying, but now that news is kind of passed, I'll look for it to kind of pull back a little bit, and then I'll put my buy stop there. So when it swings up, it'll just go right through. So that's like one good thing about just waiting for something to play out. If it doesn't play out right away, it'll probably play out eventually. It's just going to be a matter of time until it does. So got my buy stop. Let me see. There we go. Got my buy stop just sitting there. If it doesn't come back up, I'm just going to cancel it. But I have a buy stop that's just waiting right here, guys. So heading order, buy stop. You guys are looking for price for that I put it out was at 35,013. So 35,013. That's pretty much where it's at. So let's leave it alone for now. I'll come back to that a little later. The ATR is currently at 12 right now, so it's still very low. There's another high-low scalp that's pending over here also for the 5 minutes. So the 5 minute, the first one here hit full TP. I'm not going to count the trade because obviously this isn't one of the ones that we follow. It's just one of the trades that we typically just leave, or we use it as a confluence. So the 5 minute here hit full TP. There's another 5 minute here that's starting to set up. There's a high-low scalp V2 that's currently setting up right here as well. if it closes below. So if this here closes below, this will set up as a high-low scalp V2. Damn, I can't enter 2 trades at once though. Yeah, I can't enter 2 trades at once, but because I currently have the pending order here, still waiting for this. I guess I can just do this one if it ends up coming up. It hasn't come up yet though. So the candle didn't close below the level, guys. So there's still no high-low scalp V2 just here just yet. The regular high-low scalp is still currently moving. I still have my pending order there. You can see prices at this higher level now. So we have a new resistance that just got produced right there. So as you guys can see, I mean, the market is just back into a range here again. It's not really doing too much. It's moving from range to range, which is kind of annoying, but it's expected for this holiday week, right? Price kind of pushed up a bit, went into this range, pushed up higher, back into this range. Not exactly the best market that we're looking for. So let's see if price here pushes through here, or the high-low scalp that was running earlier. The high-low scalp V2 never set up, guys. So it's not run. There's nothing happening here. It's already been 5 candles, so there's no opportunity there. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, there's no entry here for this specific high-low scalp V2. There might be another one right here though, on this next level if price does push back up. So let's check the liquidity chart. Price is pretty far from liquidity, but this could be the target area for price to reach if it does come back up. So it continues to climb up. Target price point is going to be the next level of liquidity up there. You can see here that price is attempting to break past this new resistance. So let's see. All right, my position is now filled. So let me see if I can follow this. I don't have to manually pull if it gets, I had to pull out. Stupid spread. The spread filled me at a shitty price. That's whatever. I kind of pulled out for a little bit. I got 1,200 on that. I could have held on to it, but I didn't want to risk it. It already came and touched it. So this is what I did, guys. I didn't enter right away, but what happened was because there was news right here at 7 o'clock, I let it pull back a little bit. I had a buy stop right here, just waiting. It pushed up, hit my order, straight to TP. You know, there's different ways to apply these entries here. You don't have to do it the main way. Like for example, here, if there's news and you want to enter it, but you don't want to enter right away, you just wait for it to pull back, put your buy stop there like I did. You guys heard the click noise. I had to manually pull out because the spread was kind of got me trapped in the position. I didn't want to risk it. I could have held on to it, made the full 2,000, but I'm happy with my 1,200. You know, you just got to be smart. Can't be taking dumb trades, of course, like I mentioned before. So since I did mention that I was taking this trade, I gave you guys a full disclosure that I was taking, and I told you exactly what I was doing. This is going to count as an official trade. The only trades that count as official are the ones that I personally take. I know it's not one of the official strategies, but I did give you guys a rundown. I told you exactly what I was going to do, and it played through just like I thought, right? You look for those quality entries. The entries come up at least, 10, 20 times a day. You look for 1 or 2 good entries, and your profits are going to add up. So there goes that trade right there. I'm going to go ahead and take a screenshot of that, add that to our official trades for the spreadsheet. I'm on a pretty good win streak right now, guys. If you guys have seen. Okay, this entry came up at 7 o'clock. So pretty decent for a Monday today. Yeah, my win streak is pretty nice. So let's see, November over here, 11, 20, 23, entry came out at 7 o'clock. It was a buy, win, profit of 100. You guys can see I'm taking only I'm bringing back a lot of these older strategies. You guys have seen last week, I applied the V1 variation. All the strategies still work perfectly fine. It's just up to preference, right? You got to work with the market. Sometimes the market's going to give you some momentum pullback scalp. Sometimes it's not. And you just got to work with it. We have a ton of strategies here. They all work perfectly fine. It's just up to your preference how you guys want to apply them. So there's no high-low scalp V2 running right now because it just never came back down. Price did break close past this high right here. I should have taken it again. I didn't even think about that. There's another one right there, a high-low scalp. See, I'm telling you guys, whenever the high-low scalp breaks and closes, it's almost always going to hit. Like that's the thing that you want to look out for. You want to look for these higher highs. That's why I took the trade there. We were talking about this last week. You know, whenever the higher highs and lower lows get broken and closed, like for example, over here, lower low right here, right? See how price broke and closed below it right there? What happened? Automatic win right there. So I guess we can incorporate the high-low scalp, the original, as one of the official entries here as well, because it does coincide with the V2. So whenever I see them, I'll mark them up for you guys. But yeah, I mean, pretty decent profit on that right here. Yeah, Maddie said the original high-low is nice. Yeah, it was one of our favorite strategies. I mean, it's still one of my favorite strategies. I don't know about you guys, but like the V1 variation, the high-low scalp, those are like the staples, like, you know, last year or earlier this year. We just stopped using it because the volatility was so low and there's just a ranging market. Now it looks like it might be making a comeback, right? We made these variations to these strategies, but the originals were perfectly fine. It's just the thing we didn't like the most about it was the negative risk reward, right? I think that's the problem that a lot of people had. They had problems following the negative risk reward, but you can see why the negative risk reward here comes into play, right? So for example, with this one right here, right? If you didn't have a negative risk reward here and you just did a one-to-one, so for example, ATR right here was 13, or let's see, price broke past, it was 14.14, right? If you did a one-to-one 14.14 ATR, you would have gotten stopped out, right? I'm not just giving a negative risk reward for no reason. I've done my research and I've done my back testing and forward testing. The 1030 works perfectly fine. That's why I use the 1030. I almost never lose trades. So, you know, the negative risk reward is there for a reason. So if you guys want to use it, feel free. If you want to be smart and do your own thing, do your own thing. But, you know, I'm going to show you what works. And if you guys want to follow it, it's up to you. Anyways, so there goes my profits or my trade so far. I'll take a screenshot of my profit shortly. If you guys have profit to post up, feel free to send them in. We have Patricia over here. She said, been very quiet with profit, been working on 20 Apex accounts, past all 20 to this start. Oh yeah, for sure. So Patricia over here has been kind of quiet behind the scenes. She has 20 Apex accounts. So amazing work right here, Patricia. So total profit, she took one trade there. She made about 200 per account. So, you know, total profit of about 3,000. Nice work right there, Patricia. Yeah. So sometimes that's what you guys got to do. You just got to go behind the scenes, you know, kind of not participate in the live sessions and lock down your account. So Apex, Patricia over here has 20 Apex accounts. It's amazing. Nice work, Patricia. We have Kenny over here. He took the buys with us earlier as well. Total profit of 1,840 for the day. Nice work, Kenny. So solid profits right there. I'll take a screenshot of my profits as well. Price is still climbing right here, so there's not really much for us to take. The ATR is still too low for any momentum pullback scalp, so it looks like we're not going to be using this for now. We're going to be focusing on these high-low scalps over here. Other than that, I think that's about it for right now. We're going to keep looking. As I mentioned, you know, if price continues to climb up higher, target price point is going to be the top liquidity right there. So it looks like every trade that we've kind of identified and followed during this live session has hit TP. You know, we've had the liquidity here hit. Price is attempting to reach the next level of liquidity. We had the breakout V2 hit. There's no momentum counter scalp for the day. We had the high-low scalp here hit. There's no V2s that have come up, but, you know, all of the high-low scalps have pretty much hit. And I think that's about it for right now. So I guess we'll continue to look for what we're anticipating, but if there's nothing yet, then we're just gonna have to continue waiting. Yeah, C6 said the original high-low scalp is what I start all of my mentees with. Yeah, no, exactly, C. So that was like one of the strategies that we were going to mainly teach people, right? But just never got around to it. William said, I like the spreadsheet you have. I look at it before bed and go through it mentally and recall what the scalp method is. Yeah, exactly. It's solid. I mean, we're on a pretty good win streak. So if you guys look over here at my spreadsheet, the last day I had a loss was on October 23rd. So it's been about 2 or 3 weeks now. I haven't taken any crazy trades, but I've been pretty consistent, right? I'm sticking to quality entries. I'm only taking what I think is a good entry. And they just add up over time. So pretty solid right there. I'll take a screenshot of my profit so far so that you guys can see where I'm currently at. social trader tools. I wish there was an easier way to just take a screenshot of all of my profits, kind of like with MC4, but it's all good. Just kind of hectic logging into my account every day. Or I guess I could log into it in the morning so that when we get on this live session, I'm already ready to go. All right, you guys will see here that I'm missing one of my accounts, one of my personal accounts, because I'm going to be forward testing the strategy. I'm going to be forward testing the strategy that I'll probably be using with the hedge fund for the account management. So I'm just taking one out. I'm going to forward test it with my real money because obviously that makes me care about it more. So you'll just see one of my personal accounts here, not both of them. Yeah, so big news. Account management. It's not going to be the account management is just going to be like a one-day strategy. It's going to be kind of similar to the daily strategy. It's actually pretty much the daily strategy. It's just done slightly differently on a different time frame. But yeah, pretty much once a day strategy. I will let that trade run just pretty much every day, beginning of the session. That's kind of why I have my laptop right here right now, because I'm trading on this as well. I'm just taking the trade on my laptop. That's why you guys probably saw me earlier this morning. I was looking to the side because I'm taking like this one trade that just happens once a day. Basically, the daily strategy. If you guys remember the daily strategy that we used to take once a day during COVID, same thing. It's just on 1 minute. All right, so let's see. Here are my profits so far. Let me just add this over here real quick. Or actually, let me I just realized I didn't even put a screenshot of the trade we took. So there's no entries right now. Don't worry if you guys are waiting for something. Nothing's come up yet. So here's the trade I took, the high-low scalp. Here are my profits so far. Okay, so here is my first account. This is my funded engineer. I locked in 550. This is my first FTMO locked in 610. My second FTMO locked in 1,220. My third FTMO locked in 1,320. This is my second funded engineer account locked in 270. My personal account right here at 210. This is my IC account. And then my TFF locked in 564, and my second account total profit of 564. So here are my profits so far for the day and the week. I just took one trade. That was this trade right here. I had to pull out partial because it hit TP due to the spread. It just, screwed me over, but it's what it is. So ATR right now is super low. As you guys can see, ATR is currently at 12. It's very low right now. There's not really much for us to work with. So there's not going to be any momentum pullback scalps happening anytime soon. It looks like the main thing we'll be looking for here will be the high-low scalps over here. It's kind of weird that the ATR is so low, but it's because each candle is so low. There's movement and direction here, but there's just not very much per candle. Right? So you can see, let me see if there's any opportunities here that came up. So I guess, there would technically be one right here. It looks like it already hit. Price kind of pushed up right here on open, came down super hard. Entry would happen at this level right here. Yeah, so this momentum signal has already been used for the most part. Market open here at 630, price pushed up, retrace. The entry would happen right here. The ATR was just kind of too low, so it's nothing for us to take there. If we get another buy signal here, that might be setting up for another entry, but at the moment, it's not looking like we're going to have any momentum pullback scalps. The volatility is just a little too low. I'm going to go to market news price right here. Take that off. All right, there's nothing for us here again at the moment. This market is not super great. It's kind of expected though for the holidays. You can see here we have the structure marked up. This again is a 4-hour resistance. This right here is the 1-hour support. These here are the 1 minute support resistance, basically, or 1 minute resistance that have turned into, different levels. Price might come back down here. So you can see where price kind of ranges from. Ranges around this area, pushes up, ranges, comes back down, ranges, comes back down, ranges, etc. It's the same thing. It's just a repeat process. Yeah, Maddie said it might come down to the 4-hour. Randy said it lines up with the 5-minute. Yeah. So we still have the level right here for the 5-minute high-low scalp V2. It hasn't come back down yet. It is coming down now. So it might be setting up for the fake out right here. And then continuation back up. So yeah, at this moment, it's really just a waiting game. Looks like there might have been a V1 variation right there. Is that what you marked up to, Maddie? Yeah, there's a V1 variation that's currently running right now. I mean, I wouldn't mess with it because price is very overextended, or kind of. Let me see. So from this point right here, actually, it's not super overextended, but due to the low volatility, I would consider this kind of overextended because you can see there's a lot of high lows in between. Technically, I'd measure it from down here. So it was getting close to overextended at that point. See, the thing with the V1 variation is that you need to have like a pretty strong, like there has to be some direction, right? There's not really much direction here. The volatility is super low. Let me check the fundamentals real quick. The fundamentals they're still pretty flat. Yeah, it's just, I wouldn't have taken the V1 here. I mean, the V1 is running. So, I mean, if anybody's looking to take it, it's probably going to take forever. It's going to go back and forth for a bit. Eventually, it's probably going to spike up and hit TP. But again, the volatility here is super low. The V1 should have hit already. If you guys know the V1 variation, it typically hits right away. Like as soon as you get that double body, it's supposed to be an like immediate push to the upside, right? That didn't happen here because market is just ranging. So, one of the criteria for the V1 variation is to avoid it when price is ranging. So it's the same thing. Pretty much same thing. I mean, I'll keep that marked up there, but again, I'm not in the position. I don't want you guys to think that I'm in it, but we'll keep it marked up there. If it pushes up, which I do think it will, it'll play through for a V1. But again, if price doesn't go in that direction, it might bounce down further and continue down to the 4-hour resistance. I think price will continue to be bullish today. It's just a matter of time. It's going to take a while, though. It's not necessarily going to be a smooth push to the upside, mainly because the ATR is so low. The ATR is currently at 10 right now. That's super low. I haven't seen the ATR this low since like slow summer, or even in the summer, it was still at like 15. I do also mention that the V1 candle was at news price. Let me check the news calendar real quick. Let's see, was it on Forex Factory? Refresh it. I don't see anything here on my end. Oh, news price. Sorry, but you mentioned news. Yeah. Okay, no, you're right. Yeah, 100%. So actually, this entry here for the V1 variation was at a red flag, so you wouldn't have taken the entry there. Thanks, Madhu, for confirming that. I forgot about that. So when you guys take the V1 variation, you have to keep in mind of the red flags. I know this is something tedious and a lot of people don't really pay attention to it, but the red flags here are very important. You can't be taking trades when price is either near or touching any of the horizontal lines. This was news price from earlier today at 7 o'clock. You can see that there's a lot of manipulation happening around this area. So definitely no V1 variation there. So let me take this off. Sorry, guys, I didn't see that because I was on the wrong chart. I was on the high-low scalp chart, which I don't have the news marked up, but we do have the news marked up here on the main chart, which pretty much is a clear identification to not take any specific trades around that area. You guys can see whenever I have these horizontal lines on the chart, they're there for a reason, right? So if I take everything off, let me just take this stuff off so that you guys can see clearer. See, whenever price gets near these horizontal lines, this is an area of manipulation right here, right? You can see price is getting manipulated super heavy right there. So whenever price gets near any of these horizontal lines, these left to right, you definitely want to skip trades around those points because you can see where price kind of gets screwed around. So just rule of thumb, guys. I know we haven't really looked at red flags in a while, but red flags are super important. It prevents you from getting caught in manipulated areas. And I think that's typically what people get caught in, right? A lot of manipulation. Yeah, and then Nariko over here also mentioned plus V1 body on the 10-minute for a sell. Yeah, so again, right there, another confluence there indicating that, okay, probably should not take this trade. If it shows on the higher time frames, even better reason for you not to take it. You guys can see where the manipulation happened right here, right? Now it's bouncing back up, and this might be a double wick setting up for a V1 and another V1 variation right there. The only problem is that it can't be getting close to that pink line again. So there's a V1 variation right there that's currently running. So this one over here is actually okay. It's too late for me to enter. I probably would have taken this if I did see it come up, but it's a little too late now at this moment. I don't want to FOMO into this move here. Yeah, but this is actually a better V1 variation because it did pull back down right here. You can see the double wick rejection right there. The only problem here is that it's kind of close to the news candle or news price. So you'd have to pull out. Like if price spikes up and it doesn't pull you out because of the spread, you got to pull out because again, when it gets near this area, another area of manipulation there again, right? Where you don't want to get caught in. Plus the candle is too big. I mean, it's not humongous because it's not bigger than 300 pips, but the candle is pretty big. If the candle is bigger than the stop loss right here, then for sure you'd skip it. But you guys can see this is just a manipulated candle right here. It's super manipulated because you had a big spike to the downside and then a huge correction right back up. Yeah, Maddie said surprise sentiment didn't go up on that drop. I don't think people chase it. I think people weren't even paying attention. It happened so quickly that like it dropped super heavily and people didn't necessarily hop into the trade or they didn't chase it. Because I barely saw it. I saw price start to dump down. I was like, okay, this is a huge area of manipulation. And then price came down. So it looks like this V1's probably going to hit. This is not a position that I'm in. So obviously not going to count as anything, but we're just marking it up here for you guys to follow. So that right there is playing through. It's not there yet. And if you look over here on the liquidity chart, it looks like some messy manipulation right there, right? You guys can see our price kind of spiked down. Wait, this is a 10-minute. Sorry, guys. I was like, why did it look different? I was tripping. I was on the 10-minute here. I was like, why did this candle look like a huge wick when it doesn't look like that on the one? But yeah, my bad, guys. I was on the wrong time frame. I guess I got to rearrange this. I mean, same difference. Still a hit there too. All right, let's go back to this chart here. Full TP. So if you guys took the V1 variation, full TP right there. This is one that would have been actual V1 that I would have taken myself, but again, unfortunately, it happened too quickly. I missed the setup there, the entry, and I couldn't get into it, but it did play out perfectly. So pretty solid V1 right there. Thanks, Madhu, for the heads up on that. Hopefully you caught it, but it did come up as a double wick right there, pending buy signal, blasted right through just like we expected. So nice work to whoever caught that V1 variation right there. Looks like we got more profits here from Brock. Brock's currently up 2,310 for the day. Nice work, Brock, catching those wins. Kevin said it took both, unfortunately, but I'm learning every day. Yeah. So yeah, I think what you should do, Kevin, is probably put a sticky note somewhere. That's something that a lot of people do, a sticky note of the red flags. I think that's because the red flags are like for a good minute, that was like one of the main things we looked at. The only reason we stopped looking at it so much was because there was red flags everywhere. So like there was a time period where there was just lines all over the place. If you guys remember that, they were just like literally all over. There was like news every single like every 10 minutes, every 30 minutes, and there was just lines everywhere. So there like it was impossible. We couldn't take any trades. So I had to like kind of make some changes to create strategies that didn't require the red flags, right? Majority of the 10-30 split strategy. So if you're applying the V1s, high-low scalp, basically any of the original strategies that we used to apply last year that had a negative risk score, they all factored in the red flags, right? The red flags should be factored in always, but you know, when these other strategies, they're not super necessary. But if you want to be super on point and I think like, you know, never take any risky entries, the red flags are going to be one of the strategies that should be taken into consideration. So maybe I'll put it back up on here. You know, maybe I'll just leave the red flags up here so that you guys can be reminded. But for the most part, you just have to look for the horizontal lines. Just make sure your entry doesn't ever get near or touch the horizontal lines right here. Like if your entry is touching it, skip the trade. If your entry is getting close to it, skip the trade. But that's the main thing. The main rule of thumb is that any lines that go from left to right, pink lines, purple lines, green lines, blue lines, red lines, make sure to just skip those trades because those types of trades they tend to be super, super risky. And there tends to be a lot of manipulation around those points. So just keep that in mind, guys. Madhu said, I think the 5-minute close with a V2 line, so that wouldn't be a setup, right? Let me check. 5-minute. Yeah, it wouldn't be a setup because it's like right at the line. It would have to be below it. So there's actually no setup right there for the high-low scalp V2. There's actually, well, I mean, there was a triple confluence right here on the 5-minute if anybody was looking off this big green candle. Yeah, there's a triple confluence right there. I don't really look on the 5-minute, but there was a triple confluence. This candle broke and closed past this higher high with the buy signal. It was above the pivots, 10-meter screen, and then went straight to TP right there. So no high-low scalp V2. There was a triple confluence right there. I mean, this thing is still, it's still able to set up. So it hasn't set up yet, but it can still come back down and set up and come back up. Other than that, there's just nothing else for us to take here right now. The ATR is still super low. So again, unfortunately, there's not going to be any momentum pullback scalps. We'll use this chart to look for variations. So like V1 variations and stuff like that. The high-low scalps, we'll use the high-low scalp chart. I guess moving forward, I could probably add. I just add them on here. I don't think it's super. It's a big deal. I'll just add the levels on here too, just so that you guys can see the red flags on this chart as well. I think it's helpful for everybody, so I don't think it hurts. I wish there was a way to just make these like synchronized, but it's okay. I'll just, it's not a big deal for me to put news here and opening price. That's about it. Everything else is pretty much the same. We'll keep these two separate right here. This will be for the high-low scalps only. And this will be for the momentum pullback scalps and the V1 variations. Just to keep them a little separate because, obviously this market is going to kind of confuse us a bit. Let me scroll up real quick. I think there was a question here that I missed. So Valentine said, does anyone see some kind of head and shoulders pattern using November 16 as the other shoulder? What time frame are you looking on, Valentine? November 16th, because I'm assuming you're on a higher time frame because I can't see it on the 1 minute. It's too far out. On the 1 hour. Let's see, on the 16th. So, I mean, it could be an inverted head and shoulder. I don't know if are you talking about a regular head and shoulder or inverted? Let's see, because you could start over here on the 15. And see, that could be an inverted head and shoulder. But if you're talking about a regular head and shoulder, this is why I don't really like patterns, because if you're looking at the patterns here, so you said starting from the 16, I'm assuming you're talking about this here. So this would be the shoulder. This would be the head. No, it wouldn't meet right here, Valentine, because it would have to price would have to come down here. So I don't see a regular head and shoulder here, but I do see the inverted, but it happens from the 15. So there's an inverted head and shoulder from, like, basically the way that you would do it is you would mark it from this high here, come down, or shit, let me fix this real quick. Sorry. You have to like, it can't be messy. You have to draw it from the high. So like from this high here to this low here, this high here to this low here, to, this high here, or even this high right here. I think that's the thing that a lot of people mess up, is that they don't draw it from the highs. You're not supposed to just draw a pattern like this. You're supposed to draw it from the actual highs. So I don't see it. I mean, it could pass as a head and shoulders, but it's kind of messy. A lot of people, they just kind of draw it at random points, but you're supposed to draw it from the highs and the lows. So again, that'd be another reason to have the high-low indicator. So again, right here, you can draw from this high to this low, to this high, to this low. This is how you could, like, for sure know if it's a head and shoulders, because the pattern has to line up with actual price movement. It's a price action pattern, not necessarily like a, makeup drawing pattern. Because I see a lot of people, like, when they draw it, it doesn't look very clean, but let's see, Valentino over here has it. So you're talking about the head and shoulders. I'm trying to see where you're seeing it from. So are you talking about a regular head and shoulders or an inverted? Because I'm looking at this here. This is where your headline is, right? So you have a shoulder, head. I mean, I guess it could pass as a head and shoulders, but it's kind of a messy one though, right? So your baseline's right here. This is basically where your baseline is. There, your neckline, right? So basically, this is your shoulder. You can see I turn on my high-low indicator. Yeah, see, the thing is, the price doesn't come down this far, Valentine. So like, you'd have to have, like, price would have to come down a lot farther down for this to be the I don't see it. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't really see it, Valentine. Maybe you see something differently, but yeah, I don't see it, and Rashida doesn't see it either. Because it would have to be like based off the price levels, not necessarily the like what you're looking at there. That looks like that could be a resistance, like that line that you drew. It looks like that's a resistance point, right? Resistance, fake out, came back, double top right there for a resistance. But I don't see the head and shoulders. Rashida really likes head and shoulders, so if she doesn't agree with it either, I don't know. I just don't see it. But it could be. I mean, don't take our word for it. If you think there's a head and shoulders there, then you see what you see. But I personally don't see it myself. All right, so back to the charts over here. There's still nothing for us to take here at the moment, guys. The ATR is still super low, so it's currently at 11 right now. Super low. Nothing for us to take there. Looking over here at the high-low scalp, there's no high-low scalp entries. Again, if price breaks past this higher high, I might take that again as a high-low scalp original. But we'll see. I mean, it's going to be, they might line up with each other right here. So we might have a high-low scalp coming up first, and then after that, it might be a high-low scalp V2, following it right here would be a lower high. This high-low scalp V2 on the 5 minutes still hasn't confirmed. It might push up to the next level, but right now we just don't have that. All right, so just nothing here for us. So that strategy that I was talking about earlier, guys, I'm not going to teach anybody that strategy. The reason why I'm not going to teach anybody that is because I'll be doing that for possible account management that I'll probably be doing with the hedge fund. The only the reason why I'm not sharing with you guys is because I can't have everybody using it, right? If I show you guys that, then it's going to kind of mess with things because they're also a prop firm. They're a prop firm and they're also a hedge fund. So the problem is if everybody starts applying that strategy, it's going to overlap because everybody's going to be applying the same thing. It's going to kind of trigger their security measures. So I'm not going to be able to share that with you guys. But if you want to test it out, like my advice is to just play around with the daily strategy, right? It's literally the daily strategy. I'm sure some of you guys will figure it out. It's not very difficult. It's literally one strategy taken every day on market open in the direction of momentum. That's literally what it is. So I'll try to keep stats on it. So like I'll see how it works well. Because if that's the case, then in the future I might just leave this hedge fund and then start my own fund and manage other people's, like just people in general. This is all like in line with me trying to get my licensing so that I can take my Series 7 and I can actually start my hedge fund. But right now it's I'm trying to do everything legit and legal. I know you see a lot of people out there who do account management. They're not licensed to do account managing. So, once they get caught up, there goes that. So I'm trying to do everything legal and legit. So I have to work for this hedge fund to get my licensing, and then from there I can start my own hedge fund, which will be cool. I mean, once I start my own hedge fund, it'll be open to you guys too. Or I don't know, I guess it depends. It depends on whether I'm going to be doing it for accredited investors or for the normal person. I'll probably just start a family office and I can take whoever's investments and trade that. All right. Yeah, no, for sure, Andrew. Thanks. Yeah, it's all in the bigger scheme of things. Like for right now, like as you guys have noticed, I don't really teach anymore, so I'm not really focused on teaching trading. I'm mainly just making a lot of money from just actual trading. So, I don't really advertise people to sign up. So if you guys have been here on the YouTube, you guys will see I never tell people to go on the website to sign up anymore, right? Because I don't want random people using my strategies. So you'll never see me on here telling people like, hey, go to the website and get access to my strategies, right? Because I'm live streaming on this YouTube because it's just for review if I ever want to review any of my trades, and then also for transparency. But I'm not necessarily advertising for people to use my strategies, like just the general public, because, obviously if too many people use a specific strategy, it's not going to work as good anymore. So if you guys have seen, I'm on a pretty good winning streak for this whole month. I'm not trying to screw this up by like having people sign up to K2 and use my strategies, right? We had a pretty good year so far. If you guys looked at my spreadsheet for this year so far, I've had a pretty good win streak. The good thing about my strategies is that these entries come up super often. So, like for example, today, I only took one trade. So for today, I took one trade, which is a high-low scalp. This is the only entry I took for today. But during this live session, I showed you guys about like 6 trades, right? So that's why it doesn't really overlap. You guys can still apply different strategies. There's 3 liquidity pushes right here. There was the breakout V2 that happened earlier this morning over here. So you guys aren't necessarily taking every single trade I'm taking. You guys have more opportunities because I'm only focusing on like one good trade a day. But you can see this is one trade that came up today. We had the high-low scalp come up today. We had a lot of entries come up today. But that's why I kind of keep it open. So like whatever you guys want to apply, you guys can apply it. and we're not really going to step on each other's toes. Like I'm not just going to be applying this strategy and you're going to take the same one I'm taking every single day, and it's going to screw up the matrix, to say the least. If you guys like, I mean, you guys have tried it before. So if you guys have been trying like a lot of strategies that other people apply, like support and resistance, apply and demand, you'll see there's periods where it works really well, and there's periods where it works really bad because too many people use it. So just keep that in mind. You know, I'll give you guys the most quality entries, but I'll also tell you guys when other things come up. So for example, right here on the high-low scalp V2, you know, there's a high-low scalp V2 that might be setting up here. As I mentioned earlier, I would probably take the high-low scalp. So I'll give you guys two opportunities here. You can either take the high-low scalp with me, or you can take the high-low scalp V2 as price comes back down, right? And this allows you to kind of take something different than what I'm taking, so that we're kind of taking the same trade, but not exactly the same exact trade. And this is why a lot of us can apply my strategies for prop firms, because prop firms typically don't let people apply the same strategy. But I have like, you know, 20 strategies here that you guys can apply. They're all profitable. It's just figuring out one that works good for you. So anyways, you know, back to the charts, nothing here. ATR is too low, so there's not going to be any momentum pullback scalps. It looks like there could have been a V1 variation right here, but it was like right at the news price, so I wouldn't have taken it. So unfortunately, the V1 variation did hit, but not one I would take. You can see right there, full TP. So V1 variation right there, that hit, I guess. And then price is still ranging around this area. So I'm pretty much just waiting for this here to push through. Once it pushes through, we'll look for that entry. Here's a clean chart. As you guys can see from the clean chart, my zones are being respected perfectly. You can see how price kind of just ranges around this area. Came down slightly to come down here, bounce off the 4-hour resistance, and then came right back up into the range. So not too much going on here. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. At 7:45, I just realized, man, this time just flew by so quick. Usually I'm already off by this time, because once it gets closer to 7:40, I'm usually like, all right, this market sucks, I'm out. But today we've kind of just sat around for a bit, and there's, as you guys can see here, there's nothing for us to take. I kind of like the market right now. The market it's not great, but there's a lot of opportunity. So I think moving forward, we'll start to look for some more V1 variations, more high-low scalps, because, you know, even though the market kind of sucks, we still have the ability here to look for these other entries. So we might not get any momentum pullback scalps because of the low volatility, but we might be able to identify, you know, high-low scalps and V1 variations. I'm always looking for ways to make money. So if the market's not giving us what we need for our certain strategies, you know, I have a whole chest of different strategies to use. So don't worry, guys. There's always going to be some sort of profitability per week. We're never going to go a whole week with no entries. That's never going to happen. You know, if the market's kind of going slow, we'll kind of change things up a little bit, pull back some of our old strategies. I mean, because they work perfectly fine. It just depends on the market conditions. Let's see, William said, I appreciate that you don't advertise anymore. I honestly never wanted anyone using these strategies once I learned how to trade them. We're a very special, unique group. Yeah, I agree with you, William, 100%. All right, we have a high-low scalp that's possibly setting up right here, guys. A high-low scalp and a high-low scalp V2. Right, this candle was kind of too big. I don't know if I want to take this one. This candle's kind of huge. We'll see how it closes. If it closes above, it's going to be a regular original high-low scalp. Yeah, Maddie said he's going to wait for the retrace. I'm going to wait for the retrace too, guys. It was just too big of a push to the upside, so I'm going to wait a little bit. Just kind of pull back a little bit. So I'll wait for the retrace right there. If it swings back up, I'll look to maybe take it. But that spike up was kind of a tricky spike right there. So what I'll do meanwhile is I'll just take screenshots of my individual accounts so far. Yeah, it might be too late, Maddie. It's all good. Ellen's asking, what strategy do you suggest I learn first? Learn all the strategies, Ellen, and then figure out what works best for you. Because I can't tell you exactly what works best for you because I'm showing you all these strategies. They all work great. It's just up to you which one works best for you. So that's a common question we get almost every time. There's no one strategy for you to apply. Obviously, what you should probably focus on if you really want to stick to what we're doing here in the live sessions are what we're doing here in the live sessions, right? So it'd be the momentum pullback scalp, the high-low scalp V2. And then again, if you want to refresh on the V1 variation and the regular original high-low scalp, you could do that because that's what we're doing on the live session. But just because we do them here on the live doesn't mean that you're going to be able to do it yourself, right? So, like what William said, he said, pick something you like. That's pretty much what I'd say too. Because every strategy works. It just depends on the person. Like not everyone can execute like how I do on these live sessions, right? So for example, right here, we have this one trade running. I could have taken it right away, but me and Maddie were like, oh, we're going to wait for the pullback because of that weird candle right there. And that's because we're so used to seeing these types of movements and we understand, which type of strategies we want to apply here. So see where it goes from here. I haven't put my pending order up yet. I'm going to try to see where my price entry should be. Price entry will probably be right here at 350.48. Let's see if I can put a pending order there. All right, so pending order, buy stop. Yeah, so I'm not in this position yet, guys. I think I will place I'm gonna wait a little bit. I'm gonna wait for this candle here to close. This here is going to be setting up for the high-low scalp V2 as well. All right, so it's coming down a bit. Again, I'm not in this position yet. So I'll give this a second. Yeah, Craig said, when something is going on when you go quiet. Yeah, I was trying to set up my pending order there. So let me see if I can set it up. I just want to make sure the numbers are right. 350.48. Okay. I'm not in the position, guys. That's a pending order. So I know you guys heard the click noise. That's a pending order right there. I don't know why sometimes it clicks, sometimes it doesn't. But I do have my pending order right there. It's at 350.48 on FTMO. It's basically right here. So when it comes back up, it'll fill my order. And I'm just doing that while I take screenshots of my personal accounts over here. Okay. So it's not filled yet. I do have my pending order just waiting there though. So there's another setup right there for the high-low scalp V2, but I'm a little more comfortable with the high-low scalp right now because of the volatility. The volatility is so low. So let me just mark this up here as well. There's two entries that are currently, or I guess might be pending right now. There is the high-low scalp, which is up here, smaller TP stop loss. And then here is the, so this right here would actually line up with the 200 point high-low scalp V2. All right, so there's technically two entries that are aligning up with each other. So we have this here. This level right here would be the high-low scalp V2. This level up here would be the high-low scalp. So, and the high-low scalp is going to line up with the high-low scalp V2 200 pip mark right there. So got that marked up. I'm going to continue taking screenshots of my profits for the day. And then we will If it doesn't come up in the next couple of minutes, I'm gonna just cancel it because it's getting close to 8 o'clock. So yeah, if it doesn't come up soon, I'm just gonna wrap it up. No need to force anything today. Market's okay. I mean, it's not horrible, but it does kind of suck because the volatility is so low. Typically, it would swing up already by now, but the volatility is so low, so I might pull my trade soon. It is 7:54 right now. We have a few minutes till 8. I'll give it a few more minutes. If it doesn't fill, I'm just going to cancel it. There's no need to force anything, like I mentioned. It's still, today's Monday. We have a whole week ahead of us, guys, so no need to force anything. Just take the trades as they come. All right, so I got my individual profits here. Let me go and just post them up real quick. So here are my individual profits for the day. So here's my first account. You can see this is my funded engineer locked in 550. So that's my first account, funded engineer 1. Here's my first FTMO locked in 610. Here is my second FTMO locked in 1,220. Here is my third FTMO locked in 1,320. Here is my second funded engineer account, total profit of 270. Here is my personal account locked in 210. Here's my TFF locked in 600. TFF 1, and my second TFF locked in 600 as well. All right, so those are all my profits for the day so far. You can see prices way down here. I'm going to cancel my order, guys. No need for me to force anything here. I don't think this is going to come up. I mean, it might come up, but I'm going to cancel it anyways. I just canceled it. So no entries for me right there, guys. I mean, it's a pending order, so it's not really a big deal, but it's getting close to 8 o'clock, which is usually my cutoff time. So, all right, if there's any other questions, guys, feel free to put them in the chat. Otherwise, we'll wrap this up shortly. Here's some more profits over here from the group. So we got Craig over here. He said 1% on his funded reset. Nice. So Craig said that's all he needs for a payout, but he's aiming for enough to buy an FTMO challenge. So Craig over here took one trade, total profit of 237 for the day. Nice work right there, Craig. Nice win. We've got Eunice over here, total profit of 1,329. Nice work right there. Great work, Eunice. We've got Gian here, total profit of 1,445 for the day. All wins here. We've got Nathan, total profit of 435 for the day. All wins there. We've got Layla over here. She said, getting careless, logging out for the day. Thanks, Sean. She locked in a total profit of 2,820. Nice work right there, Layla. I'll reply to you real quick. I use socialtradertools.com. So that's what I use, guys. I use socialtradertools.com. That's for my copier. We have Brock here, some more profits, total profit of 7,070 for the day. All wins here. Nice work, Brock. He's all done for the day as well. Scrolling down further, we have Jonathan, total profit of 183 for the day. Nice work, Jonathan. Solid work right there. We got Maddie here, total profit of 100 for the day. Nice work, Maddie. We've got Delicia, total profit of 1,323. Nice work, Delicia. And we got Maddie over here, total profit of 94 on his main account right there. So nice work, Maddie. Yeah, guys, so that's about it for today. If you guys have any more profits, feel free to send them in. Pretty great way to kick off the trading week. I'm currently up, so let's see for the week so far. Currently up 550 plus 610 plus 1,220 plus 1,320 plus 270 plus 210 plus 564 plus 564, total profit of 5,300 for the day and for the week so far. I only took one trade, this one right here. I took it for a partial, unfortunately, because of the spread, but could have held on to it. It's all good. You know, the key thing here is not to get greedy and to stick to the game plan. Question over here from Nick. Nick's asking, is this usually what the market is like during the holidays? Usually the week of the holidays, Nick. So like this week is Thanksgiving. It's usually kind of slow like this. It's usually kind of decent on Monday. And then Tuesday starts to slow down. Wednesday, it's pretty flat. And then Thursday, of course, market's like pretty much dead flat. The market will technically be open, I think, but it's going to be super flat, not moving. No reason to trade on that day, of course. Black Friday, it's usually going to be a little slow too. So yeah, the holiday weeks are usually kind of slow. I mean, who knows? This year might be different, but every year I've traded, it's been pretty slow. For Christmas, same thing. Week of Christmas. For New Year's, it's kind of hit or miss. Last year was actually very volatile. So if you looked at, I think we took trades on New Year's last year. Let me check the spreadsheet. We actually did. The market was closed. So not last year, but the year before that, we did take your trades on New Year's, and it was actually pretty volatile. You can see over here, we took some big trades. So like that first week of January, we took the breakout. We caught like 1,500 pips on the breakout 2.0, breakout, momentum scalp. There was a ton of volatility that during the first week of New Year's. So New Year's a little different, but yeah, Christmas and Thanksgiving a little bit slower, at least for the week. All right, William, we'll see you back here tomorrow. And yeah, had a great Monday. I'll see you back here for the next live session. Sorry, guys, if there's any other questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I think this is it for the day. If there's anything that you guys have any confusion with or need help with, just let me know. Otherwise, I'll see you guys back here tomorrow for the next live session. So, all right, guys, great profits for the day. And